Welcome back to another episode of the B Team. We got Mikey, the meatball, the train conductor, the man, the hottest gambler in possibly the state, the hottest gambler in possibly the podcast stratosphere, Mike Silvestri. Welcome back to the show. We missed you last week. I missed you last week.
I miss you guys, man. It's been tough for the people out there. Job is getting in the way. It is very sporadic, but I'm here in spirit. I'm still putting out good morals compared to last year. We're on fire. Mueller too. I'm giving you your credit as well. He's on fire. I'm on fire. There's a bunch of other parlays that no one has really seen. I've been telling people to message me to see the lays I've been hitting, and it's been an incredible 4 weeks. And I'm from where I was last year to not getting a win for the first 12 to 14 weeks to now, we are now tied for first, going 6-2. Everything's looking great. I think I'm 4-0 on the spreads. The under, I lost by a half a point. Could have been, could have had another 2-0 week. Unfortunate, but man, it feels good to freaking win for once.
Absolutely. I mean, you've had 2-0 weeks. I've had 2-0 weeks. Eventually, we got to line it up and just have a 4-0 week. I think I can feel it coming. Actually, didn't we have it last week?
Yes, we did. We did have it last week.
I'll pull it up. Yeah, dude, we're on fire. We are the hottest show in possibly the planet. Yeah, we went 4-0 last week, dude. We're unreal. So this week we had the Patriots -5.5. We had Detroit and Cleveland over 44.5. Ended at 44. We just needed Cleveland to try and play some type of offense that game, and they did not. The Cowboys +6.5. Huge showing from the boys. Terrible showing from the defense. We'll get into that as well. Kansas City, Baltimore over 48.5 slapped. Shout out to Pat Mahomes in that offense because, my God, Baltimore looks like a train wreck. But we got a lot to get into today, Mike. I want to start off the top of the show with your NFL top 10 quarterbacks. We were supposed to do it last week, duty calls with the train wrecks, with the trains. I got into it a little bit last week. I think you listened to that portion. I hope you did. I hope you had time on the train because I gave you tips. I gave you pointers. We are missing Mike right now. We're missing him. Mike, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Brilliant. I'll keep talking then. Yeah, so I believe...
Yeah, we could start off with the top 10. This was supposed to be for last week, but I don't think everyone that's in here now is going to stay here. I just need to switch some people.
Yeah, if you got to switch people, you switch people. It is what it is. I went through the one from preseason last week at the end of the show just to see where guys were from what you said. And obviously that list that you gave in preseason was what you thought it was going to be at the end of the season. So obviously there's still movement that's going to happen. That one could still become true. I think there's a few guys on there that there's a lot of question marks around. I think there's some guys on there that should move up in a huge way, a huge move. I think they jump 4 or 5 guys type of way. So I'm intrigued to see what you're going to say here.
Yeah, so I'm going to start. I'll start from going to 10 being, number 10 to 1, probably, going to be Josh Allen. So Josh Allen will be number 1. 10 will start. I might take a little bit, if I pause in the meantime, I apologize. But number 10 right now, I'm going to stick with this. I have Caleb Williams there. Obviously, they just won against the Raiders. He looks real. I'll tell you what, the record might not show it, but he looks so much more comfortable than he has, since last year. And even last year, he had a pretty good year. I think him and the Roma Dunze connection is really starting to show, and it's starting to really take off. I believe, the Bears are the type of team it's just going to take them some time with Ben Johnson coming in and all that, but he's looked excellent. He has somewhat of a run game and he looks accurate. I'm really impressed with how he's looked so far. I'll put Caleb at 10.
So before we move on, I just want to talk about, I think the connection that him and Ben Johnson have at the moment is fantastic. I think Ben Johnson's opening a lot of different looks for him. I think the motions have been good. I think the trickery's been good. He's brought his flair that he had in Detroit with him. Didn't know he had the fire. Did not know that. Ben Johnson coming straight at reporters on the sideline. I love it. I love it. I mean, did you see the clip?
No, I did not.
Dude, she comes over here. So I think he was coming back out for halftime or going in for halftime, whatever it was. They showed it right before the half was about to start. And she's like, yeah, so the offense just isn't clicking. You got to change something. That's how she posed the question.
Shit.
And Ben Johnson's like, what the fuck you. What are you talking about? Change something. You change something. Like, I totally am on Ben Johnson's side there, and I love the fire and the fight back. Gave me Greg Popovich vibes.
Did you see the Pam Oliver, Aaron Rodgers one?
When? This week?
On Sunday. I think Pam Oliver, she looked hammered. Like, the guy was like, put Pam Oliver back on the screen. Like, because they only had Rodgers, and they were doing the same thing. And apparently she was slurring her words and everything.
Oh, she had a few too many Guinnesses. Love that for her. I love that for her. No, you know what? You should be allowed to do whatever you want drinking-wise if you go over for the European game. You should be allowed to. There's too many great spots to drink. I mean, you're telling me that when she goes over there, she's not allowed to have a few Guinnesses with the brothers over there, the people, the Irish lads.
And Aaron Rodgers could be interviewed, and everyone knows that he is an absolute ayahuasca enthusiast.
Absolutely. And you're telling me he wasn't hammered like 90% of the days he was there off of Guinness? He's the one that said that teams that drink together win together.
Yeah. I mean, she did. It was funny, though, because they cut it off early because there was a problem. So if we see Pam Oliver on TV again, she's lucky she has her job.
That's awesome. All right, let's go on. Number 9.
Okay, so number 10, I had Caleb Williams. Number 9 before, I did have Danny Dimes. I'm going to drop him. He's probably going to be around 11 now. I'm going to throw Drake May in at number 9. I hate to say it right now, but he's another guy. It's him, and a lot of the quarterbacks look very similar at the starting of their career. They hitting some throws, they're running, they're using their legs a lot. I think it's kind of like Caleb Williams, where he's starting to really find his groove. Last year was abysmal for not even just him, but just the whole Patriots organization. But he's finding his groove with, guys like Kayshon Boutte and Hunter Henry, is a big target for him. And the run game is looking very good. He's poised. He's poised. I will give him that. And I hate that I'm putting him in here, but I have to give him credit. I mean, he's running a lot. He's making the throws. They're 2-2, 2 big wins, one against Carolina, one against Miami. That Miami game was big for him as well, but I don't have his stats on hand here. He was my honorable mention prior, but I'm going to sneak him in there at number 9 for now. So number 8 is getting a little tricky, and I might get a lot of shit for this. I'm going to put Hurts at number 8. I previously had him at number 6. All right, I had 5 other guys in front of him, but listen, I know we're going to get into this game, but I mean, you even said it. The second half of that Bucs game, and I'm not going to blame it at all on him too, but Kevin Patullo is not really calling. He's very conservative with his play calls, but you look at Hurts and you look at the throws that he's making. It's not. I don't know if Kevin Patullo doesn't trust him throwing the ball. I don't know if it's give credit to Tampa Bay's defense secondary for not only making sure that AJ Brown and Devontae aren't getting any looks, but the defensive line is trying to crash the pocket. It looks like it's a work in progress right now. They've had different. I was talking to Ethan earlier today, and they have had every offensive coordinator has been gone after 1 year. So there's a lot of stuff still gelling. They are 4-0, so he still gets the respect that he should because they're 4-0. But when you're looking at the passing numbers, I can't put him that high right now with a lot of these other guys to how they're playing. I have to just accept it. Philly fans are going to be angry, but they should agree because right now the offense isn't looking like it should. Yes, it's a 4-0. It's an ugly 4-0, but hopefully they could start gelling over the next couple of weeks and we start to see some explosive plays.
See, but this is what I've said to a few other Eagles fans, especially even today I've said it. 4-0 is a team stat. Being 4-0 is a team stat. The Buffalo Bills are 4-0. And I'm not going to use that as a reason for why Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, or at least a top 3 quarterback in most conversations. That his record, that doesn't matter to me. The records don't matter to me. Teams that are 0-4 could even have a great quarterback. You know what I mean?
And it's like again, Ethan and I were talking about this before, how AJ Brown is reacting to all of, getting 4 targets a game for 2 catches, and Devontae's not really doing much as well. And he's pissed about it. It's like, you can either be AJ Brown with a shitty stat line on a 4-0 team, or you could be a guy like Garrett Wilson, who, if he was on another team like, the Chiefs or Green Bay, he'd be a top 3 receiver, top 5 receiver, but he's 0-4, what would you rather have, AJ Brown? Would you rather be on the Jets and have, be a top 5 receiver, or be on the Eagles and be, number 38 receiver overall because of your stat line? Come on now. Don't be
all right. Yeah, well, let's continue. Let's get down this quarterbacks, and then we'll lead off with that game, because I have a lot to say on this, and I don't want to take away from your top 10.
So do I. Fair enough. Okay, so I have Jalen Hurts. I had him at number 8. After that, I'm going to put it gets very, you know what? I'll put I'm going to keep Jared Goff at number 7. He could be higher, but again, another guy that people just keep writing off, and he just keeps getting it done every single year. The O-line has looked fantastic. Amon-Ra he is a top receiver right now in the league. He's been excellent. Jahmyr Gibbs has been excellent. People say, it makes me laugh that people are saying they were going to take a step back. We could have said the same shit to the Eagles. They lose all their coordinators, blah, 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 this and this. Their personnel is that good. The Eagles are the same way. Their personnel is just that good, where a lot will change, but they're just still too good overall to, take a massive step back from 11-5 or 11-6 to, 8-10, something like that. When I'm just putting out hypotheticals, but Jared Goff is accurate. He is smart, good IQ. He looks awesome. Big game against the Ravens too. That was a big statement win. Showed a lot. So I got Jared Goff, number 7. He deserves it, and he probably won't be out of the top 10 for the rest of the year. All right. So number 6. You see, this is the thing. I'm gonna forget Dak Prescott.
So who do we have right now? It's Caleb,
Drake May,
Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff.
Dak Prescott could be at number 9 too. Again, this whole list is from last week. He's another guy that is around the top 10, could be 9. So if I had the correct list, I'd be good, but I'm kind of going off the dome.
No, dude, we're gonna come back to that, what you just said, in a second. Give me number 6.
Number 7, Jared Goff. Number 6, I'm going to drop Justin Herbert a little bit. I had him at number 3 last week, based off their start. I'm going to drop him because that loss against the Giants, you got to win a game like that. And I know Jaxson Dart looked great, and he came out, rookie. Malik Neighbors gets injured. You got to win a game like that. I know he lost Joe Alt. Sucks for us. But,
that's a massive L for us.
Yeah, nothing on Justin Herbert at all. I still think he did all right. He that one, what was it? It was against Denver, that play where he almost got sacked, through a dime to Keenan Allen. Then he throws a dime to Quentin Johnson, who also has resurrected his career. Shout out to everyone who stayed with him and kept him on their team. Exceptional ball to him. But you got to win a game like that. He's still, again, he can easily fluctuate between 6 and 2 and 3. I think he's had a phenomenal year so far. But I think, again, a couple of other guys have better ones. So number 5, I'm going to put Baker at 5. Again, another guy that's going to fluctuate a lot, but dude, I mean, you see this game.
This is wild what is occurring right now in front of my eyes, because I think you're going to wake up tomorrow and regret half of this list.
Again, off the dome. If I was prepared to do this, it would have been way different. But I'm going off the list that I have.
Who's number 4?
Number 4 for me, I have Lamar. I dropped Lamar a little bit.
Okay.
I could be missing someone, but I might be missing somebody. Okay.
No, you are missing somebody. Give me number 3.
Number 3, Pat Mahomes.
Okay, yeah. No, I was worried you were going to forget Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes has jumped big time. He's back in the top 3 category. He's got Worthy back. Big win against the Ravens. Big win. Let me come back a little bit, but Baker, okay? Sure. Everyone knows I love Baker. That second half, you want to talk about being a scrambler. The pocket that he was going against and the moves that he was making, he had a run on 3rd down he scrambled out, pocket collapsed on him, put his shoulder down, got the first. Amazing throw to Bucky Irving running down the sideline for a touchdown. Also another amazing throw to Emeka Egbuka for a touchdown. Split both defenders. Dude, please give this man his respect that he deserves. Everyone's going to say, oh, Jalen Hurts is better because they won the game. Listen, the way how he looked against the Eagles in the second half was tremendous. Besides one bad pick, should have thrown it away, did not do it, cost him, but it's all right. Baker still is a good quarterback. We're going to keep him there. So where am I? Number
3.
So it'll be number 2. So Mahomes 3, number 2, Matthew Stafford. I'm putting Matthew Stafford at number 2 right now. Am I crazy for this? Because
no, I don't think you're crazy for putting Matthew Stafford at 2. I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with you.
He is doing at his age what a lot of other quarterbacks that would die to do. He's a wide receiver's dream right now. Big win. Puka Nacua going crazy. Devontae Adams going crazy. The offense looks flawless. Besides, a loss against the Eagles where they were winning the game and they lost on a last-second special teams field goal block return for a touchdown. Okay, that was a lot to say. But Matthew Stafford right now looks excellent. And we need to cherish this because he's going to be gone soon. And we're going to see a lot of his highlights when he is retired of his note. There was a play where I believe it was Devontae Adams. He was doing a post route towards the end zone, looked off the safety jumped, boom, threw right behind him, Devontae Adams touchdown. That is, how freaking hard that is to do in this league. To not only have 4 or 5 guys rushing at you, but to have your vision not be as clear as how we are to make a throw like that, impressive as hell. Right now, through 4 weeks, he is at number 2. Josh Allen is at number 1. They're too good. They don't turn the ball over. That's big. They don't turn the ball over. Josh Allen just continues to play good football. Easy money. Josh Allen at 1. So wild list, again, off the top of the dome. It's going to stir up some controversy. You're shaking your head.
Now listen, your list is fine. I have no problem with your list. I have no problem with the solutions that you gave to why you put someone in certain spots. Okay?
Give me your thoughts.
What you said about Baker, what you said about Matthew Stafford, what you said about Justin Herbert, and the way that they're operating in these offenses, Jared Goff, and the way that they're operating in these offenses that are fully loaded, missing very little amount of people, maybe one guy a week. This is where I find myself getting into arguments with not just Eagles fans, but all fans of football. Dak Prescott continues to be the most disrespected quarterback on the entire planet. This man puts up with Jerry Jones and the bullshit that he says every single week. And he just puts a smile on his face and he goes about his work. And, I wouldn't want, my kid looking up to anyone else other than Dak Prescott if he was a quarterback. The way he operates the offense, he moves defenses around, he manipulates defenses. There's very few times that he runs a play that is not set up for success. And if it doesn't succeed, which there was a few that, he put a throw high, but it was safe high. It was safe low the other night. Dak Prescott's missing the best wide receiver in the league. We can take Jamar Chase out of there right now because it just shows, He's the only one in that big 4 or 5 that when there's a dude standing in the backfield that has to throw in the ball and no one knows if he's competent or not, Jamar Chase is the only one that can't seem to put up numbers. You got CeeDee Lamb doing it. You got Justin Jefferson doing it. You got Malik Neighbors doing it year in and year out. You got Garrett Wilson doing it year in and year out. Jamar Chase is the only guy that when his quarterback goes down, for some reason, he's a fantasy owner's worst nightmare. But that's another story. Dak Prescott.
Can I put him there?
Let me finish. Dak Prescott the other night played without CeeDee Lamb. He played without Booker. He's got a defense that's run by Eberflus, who's basically the leader of Al-Qaeda. Am I wrong?
No.
That defense is missing Dwarvion Overshone, a number of people on the front. Trayvon Diggs is a shadow of himself. We're still missing Carson. Deron Bland's 1 game back. Looked like it. I need people to understand what Dak Prescott is working with. He's working with a team that puts pennies around him. And he's playing against teams like the Eagles, who put $100 bills. They're splashing money all over the place. He's playing against teams like the Lions, who have weapons all over the field. They got weapons all over the defense. The other night, they're playing a fully loaded Packers team. Fully loaded by Jerry Jones, giving them Micah Parsons. And what did Brian Schottenheimer do? What did Dak Prescott do? They lined up that offense every single time they got on the field, and Micah Parsons didn't get to him one time that night. They gave him a sack at the end, but that was some bullshit. That was not a sack. Game saving, sure. Absolutely game saving, because Dak Prescott was about to barrel roll into the end zone. But, we have to understand the circumstances that Dak Prescott plays football in. What he does with that team, he should be put at number 1 in the NFL. I do feel bad for Dak Prescott, and he's my favorite player. Listen, I'm first one to put my hand up when I make these arguments. Dak Prescott is my favorite player in the NFL. He is. So I'm always going to be a little biased when I do this, but I like to think that I'm pretty accurate in my assessment, because very little do people actually come back at me and say I'm wrong. Dak Prescott's leading the NFL in yards right now. And I know he's got George Pickens. But let's talk about the guys that he's got around him. He's got Turpin, who's 33. His helmet's twice the size of his torso. And his only weapon is his legs. The dude, it hits him in the face mask half the time because his helmet's too big. It drives me fucking nuts. He's got Jalen Tolbert on the other side, who I actually thought had a very good game the other night. I thought that was the first time that I left a football game where I felt like I've been very disrespectful to Jalen Tolbert. So hand up, Jalen Tolbert, shout out to you. But and we can talk about the Packers-Cowboys game here after I'm done, but I really do think that Dak Prescott deserves to be in top 10 conversations. He deserves to be in top 5 conversations. He deserves to be in MVP conversations. And I know they're 1-2-1 right now. Who knows what the record's going to be at the end of the year? They have a stretch of games here where I think they could easily get to 10 to 12 wins this year still, based on what I'm watching and what I'm seeing. It's really going to come down to, can the defense keep the numbers off the board? But my God, Dak Prescott's been fantastic. And I really feel bad for him because he keeps taking heat and he's being left out of conversations that he should be in.
So this is my revised list right now. I sent it to you via text message, but I agree with you. We're going to get into that game. I absolutely agree with you again. Bear with me because this was off the top of my head. I only had 10 quarterbacks there, but this is my revised list. We're going to go from 1 to 10. Number 8 is Dak. Okay. I put Dake. I put an E at the end. Josh Allen, number 1. Matthew Stafford, number 2. Mahomes, number 3. Lamar, 4. 5, Baker. 6, Herbert. 7, Goff. 8, Dak Prescott. 9, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts will move up, Philly fans. He will. 10, Caleb Williams. I think that is a fair list. People are going to look at Stafford at 2 and think I'm crazy, but if they actually are not casuals and watch those games, he looks amazing. He looks fantastic. Mahomes takes a big jump based off what we saw last week. Now let's get into this Cowboys and Green Bay game. So I like the list.
Yeah, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, so my thoughts on it, again, couldn't watch the full game, so I watched the highlights, but just based off the numbers, my take, this is what I was going to text you. You guys are the Cincinnati Bengals of last year. That's exactly what you are. You guys are the Cincinnati Bengals of last year. When CD comes back, Dak Prescott is playing so well, and George Pickens is now fitting into the role that he should be. You know, even with CD out, man, he looked like a true wide receiver one. And you know what? I gave him a lot of shit because people compared him to him and Garrett Wilson. I still think Garrett Wilson's better. But what he showed against the Packers was not only impressive, it was great. It was great for the future of the Dallas Cowboys with their offense. Now, the defense, my God, that defense is bad. It is terrible. Trayvon Diggs, if he wasn't brothers with Stephon Diggs, he wouldn't be in this league, shouldn't be in this league.
Well, let's pump the brakes there. His first cup up until the ACL.
Yeah, up until the ACL. After that, it's been abysmal. The secondary is a problem. They need to address that heavy in the draft of the future. It is not good.
In the draft, Mike, we got $32 million in cap space. Let's address it right now.
Mm-hmm. You're good. Yeah, let's address it right now. Why not? It's a problem. But you know what? Guess what? Cincinnati was literally one game away to making the playoffs. All Kansas City had to do was win, and they did not win. I think the Dallas Cowboys could be in the same situation. It's early. That tie is going to hurt both teams. I wish they would have won that game because that would have definitely helped them out a lot more. But what I saw from the offense, I got to give credit to Brian Schottenheimer. You know, you called it too. His play calling was exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. George Pickens was great. Javonte Williams is now resurrected from his old self and is now being pretty much almost a star back in the league right now. He is very, very good, very solid. I wouldn't say star back, but just a solid guy to have as a running back. Jake Ferguson, you know, being a security blanket for Dak Prescott. And then, again, all without CeeDee Lamb, what you said before. I agree with you, man. I really do. And that's how they're going to have to win games because that defense is an issue. It is a big issue. They need to just score. Like we said last year with the Bengals, they got to put up 30, 32 points a game to get a win. That at the minimum. Dallas kind of has to do the same. You know, it's early, but excuse me. It is early, but that defense, I don't know, man. I haven't liked what I've seen. They've let up a lot. They let up, I think, around 449 yards, something like that.
Oh, Mike, we're the worst defense in the league. We're ranked 32nd, but we have the top offense in the league.
Yeah, it looked really good, and George Pickens looked phenomenal. So Dak Prescott just has to keep doing what he's doing. Brian Schottenheimer, keep doing what you're doing. The defense, can they get better? You know, we said this last year. It can only get better, right, Cincy? Right, Cincy? So they'll figure it out, and they'll start rattling off some wins. They got the Jets this weekend. Should be a win, you know. If they just keep playing how they have been, they'll be fine.
No, and I completely agree with you. I think everyone in America agrees with you that this defense is shockingly bad. But where I don't agree with you is it has to get better, right? The sarcasm there. I genuinely do think that we have some key injuries out there and guys still coming back from injuries. Maybe they played last week, maybe they didn't, but they're coming back still. I think we're a very hurt defense. And I think when DeMarvion Overshown returns, which is very soon, I still think he's a top 3 linebacker in this league. And that's going to be huge for this team. Absolutely massive. Because I think Leofau's been great. If not for his stupid, what was it, roughing or whatever it is. I forget what they actually called on that play. You know, we stopped the Packers. We had him at, I think it was 3rd and long. That was a huge play. It dropped them back further, I believe. And because they called unnecessary roughness, that's what they called. You know, it gave them an automatic first down. They would have punted, and our offense was not getting stopped. They hadn't been stopped the whole second half. We probably go up 2 scores right there. You know, game over because there wasn't a lot of time left. But it was a stupid penalty there. You had... who was it? Was it Eze? I think it was. He had a stupid personal foul that would have led to a 4th down turned into a 1st down. You know, there was a few times that this defense actually did make key stops, big stops, and then they did something stupid. You know, when you're a bad defense, when you give up as many yards as this defense does, because Eberflus refuses to play man for whatever reason, you know, I don't care how bad the guys are on the field. Sometimes you just got to throw man. Because every team in the league has an answer for zone. Every team, if you have a decent quarterback, which most teams do now, they have an answer for zone. You can't just play zone and go sit there all game. I do think he was better with his zone blitzes this game. I think he switched it up a little more. We saw none of that the last couple of weeks. So I think that was very effective and did lead to some of these stops. But when you are a bad defense, you cannot be stupid. You cannot get the stupid penalties like the unnecessary roughness. You can't get the personal fouls for, slamming a guy's head into the turf after you tackle him. Like, that's just the stupid stuff you can't do if you're going to win football games with a bad defense, especially when the offense is playing at this high a level. They're going to score, 28 to 42 points a game. You can't be stupid on defense. It's okay listen, with this offense, it's okay to give up 21. It's okay to give up 28. Because Dak Prescott's going to go get you points.
Mm-hmm.
Giving up 40 and being stupid while you give it up, we can't have that. We can't have that.
And I'm not a believer yet in the Packers. I was for, after that loss against the Browns, like they kind of showed their true form. I'm still not sold. Like Jordan Love, he's just not doing it for me right there, Like he's not really doing it, so it's not like listen. Romeo Doubs is going off for 3 touchdowns. That's a problem. Okay, I like Romeo Doubs. I got him on my fantasy teams. That's a problem. Good player in the red zone. Okay, I'll give it to him, but it's not like it's an offense like Detroit, or it's an offense like the Bills. It's not there. It's not there yet. So it's a work in progress. It's going to take them some time, but they got to. If they want to win and they want to make it to the playoffs, they got to start sooner rather than later, because there are a lot of good teams, and they're going to be those wild card spots they're going to be tough to get. And I believe the Dallas Cowboys can get there. I truly can. I truly do.
Yeah, no, I think the Cowboys easily get to 10 or 11 wins, and we sneak into that wild card. And I think we're good enough, and we'll be very healthy at that point. Hopefully, cross my fingers, knock on wood. That we can make noise in the playoffs and be a Super Bowl contender. I think the offense is definitely Super Bowl capable. It's can the defense pull it together and be somewhat competent. Last thing I want to say on this game, and then we can move on. Whoever the fuck is running the clock, in Dallas needs to be investigated. You're telling me that Jordan Love took that much time and we didn't just go very nice and slow and get that thing to 0 before we hit stop? What are we doing? What are we doing? We are home and we're just giving away a time. We should have won the game if not for that guy just going, wait, stop the clock. Like, come on, man. We should have won that game. That was bullshit. But I think I took way more positives from that game than negatives, which is kind of crazy, I think, in a 40-40 tie. But no, I'm very excited for this week. I feel bad for you that we got to play you guys because our offense is clicking right now.
Yeah, I'm going. I mean, if it wasn't for my bets, if I was having the same betting season as last year and everything else that has gone on with my sports teams, I don't think I'd be here. I really don't, because it's been hell. It's been actual hell.
All right, let's get into the Jets game from Monday Night Football. The Jets fall to the Dolphins. Brutal game, brutal first half. It was really brutal until you guys let Justin Fields air the ball out. I texted Lucas like maybe halfway through the first. I was like, this is going to be a long game for the Jets if they don't allow him to throw the football. He can throw the football. I know everyone likes to think he can't throw. He can throw the football. He ended the game with like 270 yards. He had 50 yards at halftime. I know that because all I needed was for him to get to 100. He ended with like 265 yards. Let the kid air it out.
I understand, and my thing is with this Jets team, their offensive line is actually really good. They obviously get cursed, with AVT getting hurt, but The first drive, they were grounding and pounding the ball. They literally could have scored a touchdown if it wasn't for a great play that the Miami defender made. Fumble on the one, and they recover. Like right there, the game was over. You're like, okay, you know it's going to be done now. But it's kind of a situation with like Kevin Patullo. It's like, does he trust Jalen to throw it far, to throw the ball downfield? You know, Justin Fields did it against the Steelers in week 1, you know, but it goes back to what I was saying before. You can only do so much with one star receiver. Who's our wide receiver 2? Do we have one? I don't know if we have one. Who is it? Arian Smith, Josh Reynolds, Al Lazard? You can't. If I'm a GM, if I'm Darren Muji and I go into this year before the season even started and I see that we have Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, Alan Lazard, I got more work to do. The job is not finished with this team. And clearly, besides, you know, picking Armin Membu at number 7 overall, which was a gimme, what are we doing? Like Mason Taylor in the second round. Okay, he actually had a pretty decent game. But you need someone to take the attention off of Garrett Wilson. And Garrett Wilson is that good where with attention, he could still make shit happen. So soft offensive pass interference penalty. That was one of the softest penalties I've ever seen, ever. He barely put a hand on him. A fantastic catch. Again, it's Garrett Wilson. Like, you got to just get the guy some help. You have to. And if you don't do it now, we're not. Keenan Allen was one guy they should have brought in. They should have immediately gave him a contract. Not a Mike Williams contract, but listen, it's penalties. It's undisciplined, you know. That they had over 100 yards in penalties. It's stuff like that and turnovers. You know, you're not going to win games if you don't take care of the ball. If you make one mistake, yeah, you might be able to come back from it, but you got to take care of the football, and they're just not doing it. The defense has just completely just fell off the map. It's just the same old Jets. It's the same old Jets. And you know what? After week 1, I'm like, you know, that was a really good showing, and then a blowout. But I want to give the Jets some credit here because out of the 4 losses that they did have, you know, it's been one possession games. You know, they've been in it, but they just keep shooting. Like Breece Hall said, what do you say?
So I actually have it up here. That's what I pulled up. So Breece Hall after the game, he goes, teams shoot themselves in the foot, and then we come back and shoot ourselves in the head. That's a hell of a quote. Hell of a quote. Quote of the year.
Quote of the century. Quote of the Jets. Almost the Jets' history of a franchise. Like, it's nothing but the truth. He's been there his whole career, and it's the truth. They keep just doing it to themselves. I believe that they had Miami dominated. They were dominating on the front, but it's just mistakes, you know. Oh, kickoff, second half, boom, fumble, Miami recovers. Like, it drives us crazy, and we're so sick of it. I'm so tired of seeing this shit happen every single week. Plus the Mets losing and not making the playoffs. Whole different story. We're not going to get into that. Please. Then they're like, okay, there's the Mets season. It's over just like that. Now you're going to watch the Jets on Monday Night Football against the Dolphins. Great. Thank you, God. Awesome. Can't wait.
Mike.
How am I alive? How I survived?
All right. Listen, I watched the game, and you know, since we started this show, I become kind of an honorary Jets fan. Last year, went to the game with you against the Colts as a Jets fan. So I've been through the ups and downs with you, let alone the ups and downs I've had with my own team. And I have to say, last night's game and the games that have happened this year, this Jets team is so much different from those other ones because they actually, like, you watch them play football and it looks like football.
That is true, though.
It looks like NFL caliber football. You know, there's been a number of times that I've watched this team play over the last couple of years, and I'm watching the game. I'm like, dude, I feel like I could suit up and go out there and I'd be just as good as some of these guys. Like, I can't say that this year. The team is genuinely better. The only problem with this team is they literally cannot stop playing flag football. They love when the yellow flags get tossed around. Like 13 penalties last night for 101 yards. Okay, that's one thing. That's one thing. Have the penalties, whatever. I've seen Dallas do it in the McCarthy years. Have the penalties. That's fine. But then you can't turn around and fumble the ball in key situations on your side of the field 3 different times. I know the one was when they drove down the field. That drive was fantastic to start the game, and then the punch out at the one. Great punch out. But, you can't have these key mistakes happen consistently throughout a game. And I feel like the Jets have done that, and they've shot themselves in the head every single game. There hasn't been one game that I watched where I'm like, the Jets literally were played off the field, had no chance. Like from the opening kickoff to the end, no chance. Every game I think the Jets have had a chance to win, if not further in discipline.
Look at week one. Week one was the biggest example. One miss. All it took for the Pittsburgh Steelers to win was one mistake, and it was a special teams mistake. Special teams, it's like our curse. Nick Folk, old man Folk, hits a great field goal before. Gibson obviously fumbles. Steelers go. They win the game. And then this happens. It's shit like that cannot happen, and it's like inevitable. You cut a guy because you think he blew the game for you. Who's your backup? Who's going to go back there now? Olu Fashanu? Like, you got to be prepared for this. And I understand it's Muji and Aaron Glenn's first year, but, like, you're getting hired for a reason. Please sell the team. Please. Fuck you. Fuck Woody. Sell it. Sell the team, please. But Aaron Glenn now is in really bad company. I don't know if you've seen it. Very bad company. He is the third coach that has been hired to start 0-4 for the Jets. You know who the other one was? This guy. That guy. That is the other one. So
I know who it is. Say his name, Mike. Say his name.
It's just
say his name. It's like Voldemort.
Oh yeah. It's just the same old Jets. It really is. And like I hate saying that because I know deep down, like, we do have really good players. We really do. And I think the O-line has gotten so much better. Their run game is great. Like, I loved what I've seen from them. But you have nothing to lose now. If you want to start winning games, Tanner Angstred, Tarosi, you got to get more physical with the play call. You got to get more aggressive. You got to let fucking Justin Fields just play football. Yes, he can run the ball. The RPOs were working. Like, you got to let him throw it. But again, we don't really have the weapons to, get open to do that. But you got nothing to lose. You're 0-4. You're not going to make it to the playoffs. Like, see what you have in Fields besides his legs. Everyone knows he could run. Like, throw the ball. Like, Garrett Wilson is out. Fuck it. He's down there somewhere.
Dude, so Tanner Angstred, I have one comment on him. I was impressed with his first drive. I was impressed with a couple drives. But there's a few situations where, it's third and long. It's, third and short, let's say. And the play calling was just, I didn't understand it. I understood what he was trying to do, but, like, everyone knew it was coming. You know what I mean? Like, there was no motion. There was no, trickery with it. It was, we're just going to run this ball right there. And the Dolphins would literally send everyone to that exact spot every time. And there was no push. The Jets had no chance of gaining yards. And then now we have fourth and long, and we're going for it with a quarterback that you clearly don't think can throw the football. Because if you did, you would have let him throw the football. So there's a few. I have a lot of questions for Mr. Tanner over there, but I think the Jets are a better football team. I think they are on the right path. I think you're gonna hate hearing this, but I do think they're like a year away from having a decent season. They need to go through this year with this staff and just have some type of consistency. Like, Mike, we talked about this with Salah. Like, there's no consistency, and then they get rid of Salah, and now there's no consistency again. We have a whole new staff in there. Just let's ride this wave. Hopefully, like, for once in the Jets' life, we're not just gonna fire. Let's see what happens. Because it actually looks like football, Mike. It looks like football.
I have nothing against Aaron Glenn, and I believe that he is trying, and it's not like he's getting discouraged because he's been in this position before. My one thing is you got to have Breece Hall in the field at all times, like, because not only is he
now you're going to.
Well, yeah, now we're going to, and like I understand why they have Braylon Allen in the game because he is a very good back, and he's going to be a good back for a long time.
Is he hurt though?
Yeah, now he's hurt. I think he had like an MCL injury. He's going to be on the IR, so it'll be him and Isaiah Davis. But Brees Hall needs to be in it a lot. He needs to be in it as much as possible. I understand you want to power run the football, Braylon out. I get it. He looked great in the first drive. But number one, he might be a trade piece. You got to boost his value up as much as possible as well. And it sucks to say, but there's just so many things with this team, and it's just every damn year, and it's so sickening to watch. But listen, now it's just, enjoy the season and fucking hope for the best. Like I don't know what else to say. It's the reoccurring cycle of the New York Jets.
It's completely fair, and I'm just glad that you can actually watch a half decent product now. They might lose, but at least there's like positives. Because there was no positives.
Keep winning my bets. If I keep winning my bets, I'm a happy man. I don't care.
Exactly. All right. A few more games that I want to get into before we get out of here, hit our mortals and head out. Do you want to go to New England? Not New England. New York Giants? Or do you want to go to Philly, Tampa?
Let's go to the Giants. I like that.
Giants? All right. So, I almost forgot. T's and P's to Tyreek Hill. That leg was hanging on by a thread, but he looked ecstatic to be out of Miami. So I guess it's a positive. I don't know. Jaxson Dart wins in his debut. He's on a list of legends with what he was doing on this field. Not really sure what the touchdown celebration was, but he looked fantastic. Malik Neighbors tears his ACL out for the year. That's going to hurt. TBD until next week to see how that affects Jaxson Dart. Dable's got to feel so good. Job saved.
Jaxson Dart looked great out there. And not only was it just hitting the soft spots in coverage, but the way he escaped the pocket, and I feel like every time he did it at the right time and was fighting for those first downs. I was super impressed for going against the Chargers, who were 3-0, and you throw in Jaxson Dart with nothing to lose. And what did we say too? We said, listen, they're probably going to ride out Russ for a couple of weeks, and then Jaxson Dart is number 2 right there. You called it as well. Good for you. Cam Scatterboo, another guy who's looked awesome, and like it's good for the Giants because it gives the fans something to watch and look forward to. I feel like the recent couple of years it hasn't been like that. Obviously, Malik Neighbors going down is a massive blow for them. But, they got Wan'Dale Robinson, they got Darius Slayton, and they're not expecting much. What do you have to lose? See what you got in the kid. We said this. You're not gonna make it. You're not making the playoffs. See what you got in Jaxson Dart and play him. And I thought he looked great. I thought he made the right throws and he looked comfortable. He looked comfortable for his first start against the Chargers, and they got the win. And it was fun to watch. Not even as a Giants fan, it was fun to watch. Seeing Cam Scatterboo going crazy and lowering his head down, Jaxson Dart being in New York, like it's bright. Like there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and Jaxson Dart is there with Cam Scatterboo smoking a stogie. Like it's fun. It was a fun game to watch, and you got to give them credit because they played well and the defense played well. You can see the defense feeding off the offense, and that's what I took away from it. It was guys like Brian Burns making plays, Dexter Lawrence with that massive play, almost picked for a touchdown. Like they were feeding off of each other. The energy was very in unison and very in sync, and that was a really good sign to see. And they got the win, so I'm excited to continue to watch this team. I really am.
No, there's an electricity around this team now. There's an excitement around the stadium when Jaxson Dart hits the field. I mean, his jersey's leading in sales right now in the NFL. So he has the backing of the team. He's got the backing of the fans. We've seen quarterbacks go to the Giants. Look at Danny Dimes, good example. Was he horrible? No. But did he get the backing that the fans are giving Jaxson Dart? I don't think so. Like this team just has a little bit of a different buzz around them now. I feel like a lot of people believe in this team. They're okay with them not being the best. They're okay with them having some down weeks because they know what they see in Jaxson Dart is very good. They know what they see in Scatterboo is very good. The energy around the team is very good. You see all these clips coming out. Scatterboo screaming. Jaxson Dart, granted, dances like a frat boy, but looks like and talks like a starting quarterback in this league. So I'm excited. I mean, I'm not excited, but I'm excited for Giants fans that, they might have something going their way. All right, let's move on. Jalen Hurts throws for 0 yards in the second half versus the Bucs. Basically did absolutely nothing. A.J. Brown is absolutely done. Smitty looked upset after the game. This team is just weird, Mike. They're just weird. We've seen 4 different teams over 4 halves of football. Last week, first half they come out looking great. First half looking horrible. Offense looked horrible. Come out in the second half, dominant. Something changed. This week, they come out, and then they come out after the halftime, looked completely different. I don't understand them. I don't get what's happening with this offense. The defense looks good. Defense is solid. But the offense, I'm just confused. I'm really confused. And I think it all comes back to Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts, I said this 2 weeks ago to you. He's a great winner. Jalen Hurts is a great winner. Best winner in the league. Sure, best winner in the league. Go win every game. Cool. I will respect you for that. Jalen Hurts is not a quarterback in this league that we can sit here and say he is the best. We can't sit here and say he's top 5. We can't sit here and say when his career's done, right? And he's getting looked at for Hall of Fame with some of these guys who he's playing with right now. Are we going to put Jalen Hurts in over Patrick Mahomes? Probably not. Are we going to put Jalen Hurts in over Josh Allen if Josh Allen ever wins a Super Bowl? Probably not. Let's just assume that Lamar and Josh Allen at some point win a Super Bowl. I know Eagles fans are going to hate that I just said that. But would you put those two in with a Super Bowl over Jalen Hurts right now?
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
When you look at the quarterback position, who plays it the best? The Eagles fans think that this Jalen Hurts guy who went for 0 yards in the second half. Name one other quarterback in the league that went for 0 yards. There's some shitty-ass quarterbacks, Mike, in this league, and they did not go for 0 yards. And they were probably playing with worse offenses than what the Eagles have right now. So that's embarrassing. I just don't know what to think about this Eagles team because I can't really hate on them. They're 4-0. I got to respect that. But Jalen Hurts is concerning me for the way that we're getting reactions out of these wide receivers, such as A.J. Brown, Smitty.
And again, it's early, but did we not have the same exact conversation last year? Were we not in the same boat where it's like, what Jalen Hurts are we going to get this time? We had multiple conversations like that where it was a very up and down Jalen Hurts. And again, that's who he is. He's not going out there throwing 300 yards a game for 4 touchdowns. Like, it's just not who he is. And again, I think some of it is on Kevin Patullo, though. He has my respect, but it's gotten a little bit blown out of proportion. It 100% has. And obviously fans outside of the Philly fan base have seen that. They don't because they're just winning games. And fair enough, they are winning games, Let's give the defense a lot of credit. Cooper DeJean had a hell of a game. But you look at this offense and it's just so conservative. Like, it's weird because from what we saw from last year to now, when I watch Jalen Hurts throw the football, I swear to God, it's 5 yards every single time. It's an out to Dallas Goedert. It's a slant to A.J. Brown. It's a mesh route from Devontae Smith. It's very similar football, but it just works. Like, there's no other way of describing it. And I don't know. I think we'll have more to talk about with Jalen Hurts when we see more of an aggressive play calling scheme from Kevin Patullo, but we just haven't seen it yet. Look at Saquon Barkley. It's the same thing. It's not like they're running plays where Saquon can't just break one out and just go and freaking score a touchdown. Like, he can, but the blueprint to success is to stop Saquon Barkley. For every single team that's going to play the Eagles, their number one focus is stop Saquon Barkley and let Jalen Hurts make the throws and make him escape the pocket. I'll give Jalen Hurts a lot of credit because he is very good in the pocket when it comes to analyzing where the blitz is coming from, who's coming off the edge. He escapes at the correct time, and I give him a lot of props for that because it's not easy to do. But he does that exceptionally well, and it keeps the time of possession ticking and ticking. The time of possession for the Eagles is what wears these teams down, and it's their formula. And it's ugly. I wouldn't say it's ugly football, but it's not exciting football for the Eagles or for us fans or for people talking shit on Jalen Hurts. Like, it's just weird to kind of grasp and understand what we're really looking at, I guess. I don't know. Like, how can you judge someone based off of the offense that they're in? You know what I mean?
No, yeah, like the Eagles team. I'm not making an argument against the Eagles team.
No, superstar, the best team in the league.
Right? Eagles fans will come out and say Jalen Hurts has to be called the best quarterback in the league. He's not the best quarterback in the league. Kick the break that to all of you.
He's number 9 on my list.
This is one of the most well-run from top to bottom teams. They know what they're good at, and they stick to it. And I got to respect that. The defense is coached extremely well. The defense plays extremely well and together. They get turnovers. On the flip side, the offense does not turn the ball over. Jalen Hurts, shout out to you for not turning the ball over. That's number one. I want to get that out there. That is impressive. The dude does not turn the ball over. He's won like 20 straight games. Impressive. But when we're going to talk about quarterback play, Jalen Hurts refuses to throw past like 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. And there's nothing wrong with that if it's working. But we can't keep doing this whole ring around the rosy where we're going to argue about Jalen Hurts as a top 3 quarterback. He's not. At the end of the day, when you are going to a Super Bowl and your quarterback goes down, who are you going to want from the NFL? Are you going to want Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen? Are you going to want Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes? Are you going to want Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott? Are you going to want Jalen Hurts or Baker Mayfield? 99% of teams that aren't called the Philadelphia Eagles and don't have the makeup of that Eagles team are not going to pick Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is the perfect quarterback and came at the perfect time for this Eagles team. If they had any other quarterback, this offense, I don't know if it would work. Jalen Hurts makes this thing work, and I respect that.
Yeah, agreed.
100%. What I don't respect is Eagles fans thinking he's a top 3 quarterback. So the Eagles, I still think, and what you said, are we going to see a more aggressive offense? We're not. I don't know if you've looked at their schedule. They're going to win the next 4 games. I think it goes Giants, Broncos, Giants, someone else. They're not losing. And this is where my take comes in. I texted, I'm going to get into it on the show with you and Ethan earlier today. This is a dream scenario, but I think it's a scenario that's probably going to happen. Possibly could happen. Really hope it happens. The Eagles are going to go undefeated this year.
Wow.
They're going to get the first round bye.
They're going to go undefeated.
And now here's my dream scenario. Or actually, you know what? I'm just going to tell you the scenario that's going to occur. They're going to go undefeated. They're going to get into the playoffs. Number 1 seed. Best team in the NFL. No one can stop them. They're going to get fucking blown out in the first round they play. And I'm going to be there to stomp on the grave of every Eagles fan. And you know what? I hope it's at the hand of the Cowboys. I hope it's at the hand of Dak Prescott. And I hope they put up a 60 burger on you guys in Philadelphia. Raise the banner for that one. We got beat by the Dallas Cowboys that don't even have a defense by 30. Because Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball down the field more than 3 yards, and A.J. Brown threw a hissy fit with his book on the sideline. I cannot wait for that. And I hope, Mike, this scenario plays out to this. I hope they're 17-0, 16-0, whatever the hell the league is now when they get into the playoffs. And I hope that they get absolutely annihilated the first game they play. That would be a dream scenario for 100% of America. 100%.
It sure would.
Can't wait.
I wonder who's going to be beating them. That's the thing. Again, like
the Dallas Cowboys. Can't wait.
Yeah. They beat the Rams. They beat the Bucs. If those 2 teams make it to the playoffs and they see them, God bless you, Philly. One of those teams will beat you.
100%. Hard to beat a team twice. All right, Mike, is there anything else that you wanted to get into before we get into mortals?
No, I think if for game purposes, real quick, I just want to touch on the Ravens and Chiefs game.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to get into that. I did have down as a time to be concerned for the Ravens, but I think that's too early to talk about that. But no, let's touch on the game. Go ahead.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They have had a fucking gauntlet. I will give them that. But that last game was definitely concerning. Maybe it's the Chiefs being back and having Xavier Worthy. I just think they're not really having that mojo, I guess. It doesn't seem right. It seems like we see it every single week, and I'm not saying they're predictable, but nothing's really happening. Again, didn't really watch, but it looked like the Chiefs put the fucking belt to ass on the Ravens.
Yes.
But Derrick Henry looked kind of miserable. Lamar Jackson looked miserable. But I think they'll be fine. Again, they've had a tough schedule for the start. Browns game should have probably won, but yeah, they'll be fine. Shout out to the Chiefs. They get Rashee Rice back. They'll be back too. But big showing from Mahomes. That was a big bounce back week.
No, I agree with you. I thought the Chiefs needed that. I mean, it was a battle of who's going to get to 500. That was a big game for the Chiefs. They needed it big time. They get Rashee Rice back a few weeks from now, and they're only going to get better. It's the Chiefs. At the end of the day, if you let them get hot, they could go on a tear. So it was only a matter of time before they started stringing wins together. They're a team to look out for, 100%. Anyone that thought that they were dead in the water is an idiot. I am concerned for this Ravens team a little bit. We'll see how they do this week. But if Derrick Henry continues to fumble the football, time to raise an eyebrow. Time to look at the schedule and see where these wins are going to come in, because they're turning the ball over at bad times. The offense isn't moving the ball. I shouldn't even say that. Because the offense did move the ball pretty well this past week. It's really the defense. Can they get stops? And I don't think they've gotten stops the last couple of weeks. Detroit's a very tough offense. Kansas City, tough offense. I know that. But at the same time, if you're going to be an elite team and play with these elite teams and be considered in those conversations of Super Bowl, can you beat them? You can't be giving up the amount of points they've given up and the amount of yards.
And they lost Matabuke, the D tackle, and he's been a big piece on that D line. So they're going to have to make some adjustments on the defensive side. But not panicking yet. We got a long season, but not the start you want.
No, absolutely not. But all right, let's get into mortals. So Mike and I are both 6-2. The guests are 3-3. The guest picks out after the release of the show. Obviously, when we post them, that's what we've been doing, unless someone's on the show. So they'll be out after at a later moment. 3-3 for them. We're 6-2. Parlay is 1-3. Still positive units all around the board, which is huge for us, being that last year, I believe, as a team, we were down a lot of units.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of units. I mean, you were no help to that. No help at all. I don't even, honestly, Mike, I don't know if you had to win through the first 4 weeks. So this is a huge moment for us that we are 6-2. I would have taken 3-3, 2-4, whatever it would have been, just 2-6, just for your sake. We are at 6-2.
I think I'm doing pretty good. Like, the only ones that I've lost, I believe, are the overs. I think the B team parlay I've hit on every single spread so far. It's just been the overs.
So, Mike, you've hit all 4 money lines in the B team parlay. You've hit all 4 spreads so far this year. You are 2-0 on underdogs, obviously 2-0 on favorites. The over-unders, you're 1-2 on overs, you're 1-0 on unders. So it's been a good year for you. I mean, I might just start taking the Cowboys every week because they're the only team that wins for me.
I was going to say, you take them at the perfect time every time you bet them. It's always a cover.
I might have cracked the code.
I think
for the Cowboys. No, just for the Cowboys in general. All right, let's get into this. So I went 2-0 last week, so I get first pick. I basically just gave away what my pick's going to be. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys -2.5 at the Jets. I'm excited for that game. Can't wait to go and be there, sitting in the same seats we had. Cowboys, if you're going to be a competitive team this year, you got to be able to win this game. Justin Fields is certainly going to run all over us because our defense literally cannot spy anything. They couldn't spy. I'm not going to say that. That's bad. No, the Cowboys -2.5. All right, Mike, go ahead.
All right. Do you want to do your over-under or wait for that?
I can do it. I have it right here. I'm going to take the Vikings and Browns over 35.5. I think that's extremely low for these two teams. Cleveland, had a couple tough weeks there in a row, but I think they're an offense that on their day they can easily put up 14, 16 points, and Minnesota I think is going to win that game at Cleveland. So you'd have to think they get around 20. So I like that over.
This might be the one that ruins the rest of my year. I'm going to start my spread. I'm taking Tennessee plus 8.5. I'm taking the big dog this week. After, I don't know if you saw those press conferences from Cam Ward and Brian Callahan. And they're playing one of the teams I hate the most in the league in Arizona. Frauds, big time frauds. Plus 8.5 after a blowout against Houston. I think they hit that cover, especially with how the season has gone for them. I'm going to take the points on that, and I think it's going to be probably a field goal game, maybe a touchdown game. So 8 plus 8.5, 118 on that. So that is more of the favorable spread in that game. Tennessee. And then my over under, I'm actually going to take the under in the Denver Philly game. That's actually at 43.5 right now. That's at minus 105. I think Denver's starting to really feel themselves. You know, they had a very good game against Cincinnati. You know, should have been a win anyways. But again, Philly, like, what are we going to see? This is more so if Philly comes out strong and is just scoring touchdowns left and right, this bet's done. But in Philly, you know, there's going to be a lot going on. I feel like there's some drama, and Denver's defense is heating up. I like the under here. And Philly's defense, you know, in Philly, I think they're going to stop them a bunch. So Tennessee plus 8.5, and then I'll take the under 43.5 Philly and the Denver game.
I like that a lot. And I want to touch on the Tennessee game. I don't know if you saw what Cam Ward said, but he was like, we're going to keep it a buck here. We're ass. So I actually love that pick because you can't say that and come out the next week and just put up a goose egg. So you know that they're going to come out and play hard and, you know, put up some points. 8.5 is a lot of points as well, especially in the NFL. B-team parlay. You get the first pick because you're 4-0 on that thing.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep my record good. Let's take Detroit. Detroit against Cincinnati. We're going to roll with them. I mean, minus 560 favorites got to hit, right? So we'll see. I'm going to take Detroit.
I'm gonna make up for the amount of favorable that pick was. I'm taking a road dog this week. Give me the Bucs at Seattle plus 140. I think that's kind of disrespectful to the Bucs. I think that team is one of the top teams in the NFL. I know they're traveling across the country. They're going to Seattle. It can be a little muggy up there, but Tampa Bay just lost to the Eagles in a very tough way. You know, could they have won? Yes. Did they win? No, because the Eagles are just, they've literally sold something to someone. Not going to get into that one, though. I think Tampa Bay comes out with a vengeance this week. I think Egbuka's been fantastic. I think he goes for 2 touchdowns, maybe more. Baker Mayfield's going to throw all over this team. Sam Darnold has been very good so far this year.
They've been a very good team. Very slept on.
Yeah,
very slept on.
Absolutely, which is why they're favorites in this game. I think the books know that this is a very good team, and you know, I just think the Bucs are going to go in there, and this game's going to be close. And when it's close, usually the better team tends to come out on top, as long as they aren't boneheads and make mistakes. And I hope the Bucs are going to do that this week. I think they're capable of, you know, being a top 3 team in this league this year. Give me the Bucs. Yeah, and we'll get the guest picks in there. So we'll have the official line for that parlay. We'll get our spreads, over-unders out by, I think we've been doing it Thursday at noon. So maybe we'll do it earlier this week. Who knows? Get our picks in.
And also for the people, for the other bettors, FanDuel has a amazing Thursday night prop that I think people are starting to finally catch up on. $5 anytime touchdown score. Enter the promo. If they score first or second, you're in $1 million pool. I won big on Miami and Buffalo. Big bet, big bonus bet. Put it on something else. Won it. Absolutely, everybody do it. I know some of the guys from Westchester. Shout out to Gabe. I know he hit AJ Barner last week. I don't know if he won the bet after, but get on that. $5 you put in at the minimum and take the value. Take some value. I put I'm not going to say what I did because I don't want to curse myself, but
no, keep it in house, Mike. Keep it in house. Let's keep this train rolling. Keep this train rolling. No pun intended.
We will. We are the hottest podcast out right now when it comes to our picks. You look at all these other guys and they're under 500. We are over 500. People are doubting us still, and we still have the picks. Let's keep it rolling.
Absolutely. All right. Well, before we get out of here, remember to subscribe. Every subscriber is a donation to pediatric cancer. Let's save these kids. Let's get them out of the situation they're dealing with. or at least help them feel a little more comfortable in the holiday season that's coming up. So let's get subscribers. Let's donate. And if you want to donate, just go ahead and donate yourself. We're going to have that set up soon. I got Alexa over here staring at me. She's glaring, so we got to get out of here. Yeah, let's get all these kids something for the holiday season. So let's donate. Let's get subscribers in here. We'll donate. And you know what? While we're at it, we're FanDuel athletes now because we own that book. All right. So, Mike, I'll see you. Everyone else, have a good day.
Catch y'all.